Look at these beautiful flowers. See how the petals curve back? See, I'll do this to the side. So there's, if you look, there's 5 petals and they curve back, and look at the stamen. I'll show it on the side. See how the stamen are oppressed against the pistil? So there's actually 5 stamen, they're pushed up against it. And then you can see berries starting. Those berries will be red later. This is deadly nightshade, Solanum dulcamara. It's also really easy to know because it's got these spade-like leaves. So this is one leaf, and it looks like the cards, the spades. Now, not every leaf will look like that. Some you'll get are just oval. So here's just an oval one, but you can usually find some that do that. That's really distinct. This is a common weed, and the berries are poisonous, so you don't want your kids eating them. Right below us here, well, let's do this one first. So look at these serrations. So see how the serrations are kind of triangles that point forward? So this is a nettle. This is the wood nettle, Laportea. So let's look over here and look at the stem. See how it's got those, looks scary to touch? Because it is. If you touch it, it's essentially like hypodermic needles of hydrochloric acid that spill on you. So it's an immediate chemical burn. It's not immediate though. If you touch it, it takes maybe 30 seconds to a minute to start to, like, it's like if you're in chemistry lab, you spill some chemical on you, it takes a minute for it to start to burn. And they're not that bad. The way this one's really easy is the inflorescence is terminal. It's branched and mostly terminal. You'll see some lower, but most of them are at the end. And when you come out here, they'll be even more so. Because they're just starting to kind of expand right now. But this is a really common, actually in a forest. That's why it's called the wood nettle. But right next to it is, just down here, this one is Pila pumila. And Pila pumila is easy. Look, it's kind of got almost a translucent stem. Again, it's got the same serrations. This is a non-stinging nettle. And so it's got those triangles that point forward. The stem it's a little bit translucent. It's kind of hard to see here. And you can see that the flowers are just starting, but they will be mostly not terminal. Okay, so there could be some at the end, and these will get bigger. So by the time, if you come out here, these will be much bigger, because they're just starting. I'm still a week before classes start, so they're just starting. I think I got some of these in my yard, so we'll have bigger ones. Right next to it, it's hard to tell because the flowers aren't open. But we just saw this. This is the false nettle, the Bohemiera. Remember, that'll be the one with the inflorescence will be these cylindrical balls that stick up. And then usually here we find some nice stinging nettles, but they're right over where all the water is. So we're not gonna go over there. I've got some really good ones in my yard, and those ones will look pretty much like this, but the inflorescence will droop. So Bohemiera, the inflorescence sticks up. Urtica, the inflorescence droops. I'll show you some later. There's a cute little vine here, and see the tendrils on this. So careful, there's so much other stuff. This is the leaf I'm looking at. It looks like maybe like like a star that you would do when you were a kid. You know, a 5-pointed star. So it's a fairly distinct leaf. This is a wild cucumber, Eichhornia lobata, and it'll have a cucumber type thing. Again, I got a ton of this in my yard. I'll show you some good ones in a little bit. But it's pretty distinctive. It's a good wetland one, and it's got these tendrils all over it. So that's easy. And they're really cute. It's actually an annual. There aren't that many annuals in your wetlands. It's an annual. Right above it, we've got an opposite leaves, oddly pinnate. So this is an ash. So we've got a good ash. Here's the wild cucumbers flowers. You can buy this. You can oftentimes buy this at a native plant sale because they'll have just gorgeous flowers late summer, and they're very fragrant. And then they have those cool, which I'll show you, the really cool cucumber-like things, but they're not edible. So those are all good ones right here. So let's just look at this real quick. Here's Bill. Should I touch this? No, because it's got all. So this is your wood nettle. It's gonna sting you. You should know your nettles. Again, if you'd go in nettles, it's not a big deal. Just wash it off. It's not like poison ivy where you have a long-term effect. It's an immediate thing. I always have. There's been a number of times where some macho guy says, "Well, let me see how bad they hurt," and then he rubs it on him. And I always say, use the back of your hand or your cheek, or like right here's a good spot because it's more sensitive. If you touch it with your hand, if you got rough hands, you hardly feel it. But then after a couple minutes or after 30 seconds or so, then it starts to hurt. So I've had some guys go, "Oh, this is nothing," and then they do even more, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh shit," and then they run to the river and put their hand in it. It's really not that bad. There's lots of people that eat them for like masochism. Scottish people, I don't fully get it, but it's kind of a British thing. So if you look online, there's all these nettle eating contests. Their mouth turns black and they hurt. But you know, whatever. Yeah, let's pause there.